Nonetheless, we'll get started. Today is going to function a lot more about like multi-joint movements, and then we're going to progress to core. So we'll get started. Noah shows up, he shows up. Have any plans for the weekend? Nice. Where? Here? Spokane again? Okay. Backwards. Okay. Gotcha. Great. So, is it Family Day just for that? So you're just a part, you're like a vendor kind of thing at it. Okay. Very cool. I remember taking fencing at camp one time. It was fun. Like, it's just something that you always see on the movies and stuff, like getting to play with a sword. I know that you're just playing with a foil. It's not actually a sword, but it's cool as a kid to get to do something that you see on TV, you see on movies, you see your cartoon characters or people doing, and actually get to do it, because very rarely do you actually get to have a sword as a kid. Have fun. Down as far as you can on the leg, and then the one arm just going overhead. Well, and like when you said you do sword fighting, I don't know if I've ever met somebody that does that. So like it's one of those things that it's just out there enough. Like it's very noticeable. Everybody knows what swords are. Like we would recognize it, right? I may not know how to do it, but it's such a commonplace thing, but you never see people doing it. You need to start a club here at SCL. That's awesome. That's awesome. You go to your butt. We're just going to hold here. Switch to the other side. It's funny as you get into kind of being an adult. I don't know, in high school, there's a lot of just, there's a lot of clubs and stuff, but it's more mainstream things. Like, it's stuff that you grew up hearing about. You have everything from drama to organized sport, maybe some archery or something. And then you get into college age area where there's less organized sport all the time, but people are playing like ultimate or spike ball or something that is not something that you always get at high school. And then you become an adult and you're like, well, now there's nothing. And then you realize there's literally something for everybody. Like, you want to mess with swords, you want to do paintball, you want to be a horseback rider, you want to play chess. Like, there's something for you out there. You just got to go find it. Go back into a lunge and then up. But you're just not exposed to that when you're growing up. So then you never, you just never think about it. Switch to the other side. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you get a lot of conversation starters out of it. Now, basically the same thing, but we're going to be here. Stick your sword in your pocket, pull it out. I told you I use it every time. Doesn't matter if it's accurate or not. I actually, we were a running group, like, the day after we did this. And I told everybody at running group, I was like, so there's actually this guy in my fitness class that told me you don't put a sword in your pocket. And I'm like, I know you don't put a sword in your pocket, but for everyday person, they know where their pocket is and they know how to pull a sword out. We're going with like the cartoon understanding of swords around here, not the realistic version of it. Last thing we're gonna do is gonna walk your hands out, get some weight on the hands, and the way back in, get a nice stretch in the hamstrings, and then back out. Y'all didn't have class yesterday, right? It's funny, you kind of forget. Like, sometimes when you skip a day, at least for me, there's times that I wonder, like, did I actually help myself? I come back the next day and you just feel so sluggish because it's like your body wanted to start relaxing, and then just because you skipped a day and all of a sudden it's not actually going to relax. So the first thing we're doing today, called Froggers, basically going to be in a push-up position, having your feet come in, get your hands up, and then go back down. The big thing about this is a progression of the whole class that we've done so far. So a lot of what we've done has been kind of single joint motions, like brace the core and then hinge, that kind of thing. On Tuesday, we added like that golfer's twist, so we started trying to add some multi-directional, multi-planar movements. And so now we're starting to actually engage all of it together. So with Froggers, you're going to be down, out like this, up, hands, back out, up, hands. Yeah, so quick little movement there. Then you're going to pick up your dumbbell. We have what you're calling a dumbbell swing, just like a kettlebell swing. The big motion here, though, is with those hips. So as you come down, that core is nice and braced, that back's flat, but your big mover is those hips. So those hips come forward, and that's where you get your swing from. And then you're going to alternate hands. But we shouldn't see it. It's not like a stand up and then a front raise. It should be a nice, gentle swing, yeah. And you're doing it perfectly. The other thing to watch on this, as you get tired, don't let that weight like come down and slam. So you want to control it on its way down and then pop those hips all the way through to get it up. Then we're going to go down. We're going to stay on the ground. Keep your weight close though. First one, just a standard plank. Done this one, you're just good to go right here. Then we have a glute bridge. So you're on your back. Heels. I don't know if you've been here since we've done a glute bridge, but basically you're pulling those heels in the whole time. We don't want to see your toes crammed into the ends of the shoes. So I encourage people to cue yourself at the beginning, at least until you're comfortable, by having your toes off the ground. That's not super important, other than it makes you so you can't push your toes into the ends of your shoes. You go ahead and you're going to engage those hamstrings and those glutes to bridge up, get those hips nice and high, and then back down if you need to. Double check with yourself. Make sure that back is flat, that core is braced, and then you go into it again and back down. You should keep that braced the whole time. Then we're going to move into that pullover. So you're going to grab your weight again, up into our tabletop position. So 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees. Just dropping that weight down and then pulling up and using that core as you pull back up. So trying not to just pull from the triceps and the shoulders, but actually using the core to draw it up. And then the last one we're going to do is a bicycle. So hands behind, just a standard little ab movement we've done. Just back and forth, elbows to knees. That one should be nice and controlled. Shouldn't have to feel like you're like craning your neck up or anything. You're doing it perfectly right there. If you feel like you're pulling on your neck, try to just relax those hands and get more of a twist than an actual songs of the field from an ancient herd are buried in the mud and blood. You've got a what? Why is that? Oh, okay. How long have you had it? Oh, well. Yeah, so pullovers and glute bridges should be just fine. Bicycle, if you have any problems, just let me know. Yeah. Well, this and Kelsey's class are perfect for you then. Yeah. Well, and these are perfect from the standpoint that they focus a lot more on good foundations and not just pure exhaustion. Right? Like here is all about how do you brace the core and keep it nice and controlled without overusing it. So, first move, Froggers, on your mark, get set, and go. As you go through this one, it's just like those dumbbell swings. Try and get those hips under you as you stand up. Make sure you keep breathing. These first, oh no, losing the microphone. These first two are definitely much more cardiovascular, a little more high intensity. Grab that weight into those dumbbell swings now. Pop those hips forward. Really squeeze the glutes to get that weight forward. Catch the breath here. We're about to go into a plank. Gotta stay nice and controlled for that. Very good. Now down to the ground for that plank. Hold it nice and steady here. Continue to get that breath under control. Very good. Onto the ground for your glute bridge. Pulling in with those heels. Get those hips nice and high. Back down. If you need to, put your hand under your back, your low back. Get nice and flat. And up and back down. As you get that back flat, you should feel that pelvic tilt that we practiced at the very beginning. And up and back down. Nice, controlled. At the top, really make sure you're squeezing the glutes. You shouldn't feel this like straining your low back. If it is, brace that core a little harder. And then really focus on pulling with the lower body, not just pushing with the back. Go ahead and grab the weight now. Up into that tabletop position. Overhead. Pull through the abs. Kind of that lower rib cage is really where you should feel this one. Keep those heels away from your butt. Keep those knees nice and stable, not wobbling all over the place. And then last move, bicycles. And you are done. Very good. I'm gonna try and figure out this microphone pack situation. Can't be throwing it across the floor anymore. Oh, the like Nerf ones? Yeah. You give them like the pool noodle ones that are just like super floppy. No, I'm saying that's the ones that are extra violent. That's what you need to give them. Because those Nerf ones are still stiff. Like if you really go at somebody, they kind of hurt. We were like babysitting kids, and some kid would start chasing with a Nerf sword. It's like, gosh, that kind of hurts. Yeah, you need like the different tiers. Like you have little short pool noodle ones, and then you get graduated like a bigger pool noodle, and then you get graduated to Nerf, then to wood, then to metal. That'd be fun. Why? Yeah, I'm trying to think about that one. That wouldn't be good. You go home and like you're just having to pick splinters out of kids all day. Here we go. On your mark, get set into those froggers. As you kick those feet back, try and get as flat as possible, just like a quality plank. Very good. Go ahead and grab that weight into those kettlebell swings. Keep that heart rate up with this one. Control the breath. So keep the pace up. Make sure those hips are still the main movers, not the shoulder, not the low back. Very good. Now down onto the ground for those planks. Find your spot, hold it, get comfortable, even though it's uncomfortable. About 15 seconds left. Keep breathing here. We're about to go into those glute bridges. Keep yourself relaxed before we turn over. Hand onto the ground. Digging with those heels. Get that pelvic tilt before you leave the ground. Up. And all the way back down. Keep that pelvic tilt the whole time. Good. Grab your weight. We have some pullovers now. Get those knees nice and stable. Good. Keep that core brace the whole time. That's where we're drawing all of our power to keep those knees stable and to move that weight. Excellent job. And then last move, bicycles here. Get those legs nice and straight if you can. Gentle twist back and forth. And you are done. Excellent job. One more round. Where do you get, you're saying you're working on like getting full armor. You talked about how expensive it is. Where do you get it from? Like, the like full armor that you were talking about. Like, is there somewhere local that you could get it from? Okay. Themselves? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I will say that's a good thing about this area is that there are a lot of people who fabricate here. Is it allowed, are you frowned upon if you use aluminum? Okay. I was going to say then everybody else weighs 50 pounds and you're using 20. Oh really? Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're a lot less gentle. Yeah. I've seen videos of that. Okay. Well, when you first came out and said that, that's what I was envisioning because I've seen people just getting athletes. I'm like, I don't care what you have on, you're still getting hit. Like, it's... It doesn't matter what armor you're wearing, you're still getting hit. It's like being in a car wreck. You can walk out of it, but you still took a 30-mile-an-hour just impact. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, it's like hitting a bell. I'm sure. Yeah, you gotta think, like, y'all are doing recreations. The guys who were actually wearing this and fighting were doing like true fights. And, like, one person was only leaving. Has enough articulation to it. Yeah. That seems like the kind I would want. Like, there'd be a difference between, like, okay, we can afford to be able to make it and, like, walk around like this, or we could make the good stuff. And it's like, I think I'd rather just have the good stuff. Like, I'm not wasting my money. All right, last round here. On your mark, get set, and go. Let's keep the tempo up on this one since it is our last one. Keep the heart rate up in these first two moves. Yeah, there you go. Keep the pace up. About 10 seconds left. Good. Grab that weight. And those kettlebell swings. Same thing here. Keep that pace. Keep breathing. Keep moving those hips here. As you get fatigued, keep those shoulders nice and stable, but making that motion come from the lower body. Very good. Onto the ground for that plank now. As you're trying to get your breath back, keep that core nice and stable here. Remember, we want to be over our hands. Hands should not be pushed way out in front. Very good. Onto your back. That glute bridge. That plank was hard. Make sure you're getting those hips high, but make sure that back is not the one that's moving, or not the one that's doing the moving. Make sure you're still drawing it from your hamstrings, from your glutes. Your feet are flat. We're not shoving our toes into the ends of our shoes. Very good. Grab your weight for the pullover. Really straighten those arms. If you can, get a long lever arm. Makes it a little bit harder. And we're pulling from the bottom of the rib cage, all the way up through the arms and through the hands. Good. And then last thing here with those bicycles. Almost done. Keep going. And you are done. Excellent job. You can stay on the ground if you want to. It's been so long hard days. We're gonna start in that top position, so just up on the elbows. Kind of stretching out, kind of just relaxing too. So I set out, cross that way. Go ahead and pull one knee through. And kind of push that chest over the knee here. Into a bit of a pigeon pose here. Yep. There you go, that's perfect. And then if you want to, you can slide that foot out to the side if it makes it easier. Yeah. Switch to the other side. We'll do this. If not, it's fine. My evil way. Yeah, there you go. Really? What time do you have to be at work? Oh. Oh, you're doing... Okay, 2 things in one. Now, just a little butterfly stretch here. So I won't hide. It's amazing how much, especially doing things like other people are pushing you, or like you can see other people, so you're having to like do things that are out of your just comfort zone, how much it helps you maintain mobility. Like anybody can do a squat, but when you have somebody else or you see somebody else going a little bit lower, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, I wonder if I could go a little bit lower, all of a sudden you realize, man, my hips move a lot better, my knees move, my ankles move a lot better than they used to. Now, onto your back. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take one hand, go across, and just pull it across your chest, just stretching out the back of the shoulder here. Switch to the other side. And then the last one is up seated again into our cheerleader stretch here. So there's 1 foot kick behind. Yep, that's exactly how it is. And then prop up with your hand. And try and keep yourself as centered as possible, so you should kind of feel a bit of a stretch in that hip for the foot that is back. If you need to, you can rock forward, rock back to find that stretch. And switch to the other side. Very good. That's all we have today. I shall see you on Tuesday. Next week will be our last week for a little bit.